Welcome to Vibrant Numerals. In this video, we're going to discuss the vibrations of August 2025. I'm Elizabeth, and I help spiritual practitioners and number enthusiasts apply numerology to their practice and to their everyday life. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. So we've made it to August 2025, and August 2025 is adding up to an 8. But it's a 17-8. And the 17-8 is very interesting in that one of the things that we have to be aware of is that in July, we were taking a lot of action and flow. That's that 7 energy. And so now that action and flow is our first step in this August energy of 17. So we have to first examine what were the actions we were taking and making sure that they were in flow. Because if they were in flow, now they're allowing this new energy to come in, and we're able to examine and create brand new infinitely cycling energies. August is the 8th month. Will also be a time where we could potentially see a lot of karmic returns. Or dharmic return. So that's the positive and the negative return of energy. It's the reaping what you sow. So expect to see in your life and in the lives around you and in our communities and in our societies that there's these karmic returns. Be prepared for them, because you have to look and be able to see, why is this returning, and how can I use that energy? Because energy cannot be created or destroyed. So as that energy is coming in, regardless if it's coming in a positive or a negative way based on your perspective, you can use it to create more. So August does have 9 cycles. And so 9 cycles are how we are creating and manifesting, how we're moving the energy into where we want it to be. And so we have the large 9 cycle through the months that have been happening since January. August is 8 within that. So this 8 energy is extra amplified. You can use these August 9 cycles to be able to go back to previous months, or to be able to start something new, or to continue what you've been creating in these 9 cycles. So these monthly 9 cycles, and in August we have 3 of them, are really good for doing smaller things in this 9-day time that will help push bigger goals forward. And so these are when the 9 cycles begin, and these are for everybody. Everybody will also have their personal 9 cycles based on your birthday, but these are the 9 cycles that everybody will be in. And so you'll want to make sure that you're using these to help propel forward any of your goals for the month, but also for the year. So also in August, we have these portal days where both the vibration of the month, which is 8 for August, and that's amplified this year because we're in that 9 cycle for the year. So that 8 for August is amplified. But then it's when the day also is vibrating at an 8. So this would be the 8th, the 17th, and the 26th, that all add up to 8. And so here we have this amplified 8-8 energy. And on these portal days, what's happening is this energy is creating like a whirlpool. And you can use these days to either draw in big amounts of energy to be able to use for yourself in your manifestations. But you can also release a lot of energy on these days also. So these portals are going both ways, that they both can be used to draw in the energy that you want, but also be released. But also because this 8 energy is amplified so big for this year in particular, you have to be very careful and very intentional with what energy you're pushing out and what energy you're pulling in. Especially because 8 energy is all about these cycling energies that could last for years to come. 8 is about you reaping what you sow. So you want to make sure that any of the energy that you are drawing into you is going to produce a harvest that you really want, but that also goes for the energy that you're pushing out on these days. Anything that you're pushing out is like planting the seeds. You are sowing the seeds of whatever energy you're pushing out. So even if it is negative energy that you want to push out to better serve you, be very intentional about how you do that, making sure that the release of negative energy isn't impacting anybody else in a negative way. And is being transmuted. You could do this by doing any kind of like rituals, like cleansing rituals, which is simple as like taking a bath or even in the shower and releasing the energy that way and imagining that energy going down into the drain. And that is allowing the earth to be able to clear that energy and use it again in a better, more positive way. It's turning it back neutral. So anything that allows your negative energy to be neutralized before it goes out and hits anybody else is going to make sure that you're not reaping those negative consequences of that. So these are some very powerful portal days this year. August also has some important astrology. And if you would like to see the channeled messages that I've written based on the numerology and the astrology together, you can sign up for the Oracle 56 newsletter below. And what's happening is the astrology is this vibration from outside of the earth. Like everything that's happening in the astrology around us is impacting the earth. But then we also have the vibrations that are around us, and everything is going from macro to micro. So we have the astrology, which is big, huge, and that's impacting the earth as a whole. Then earth has its own vibrations. Then we have our own vibrations in the countries in which we live. And then we have more vibrations based on the communities in which we live. And we have more vibrations based on us as an individual. And so that all of those layers of vibration coming together is what creates these vibrational currents and flows that we're able to use and tap into. So for August, we have a couple of things happening. The first is to remember that we are still in retrograde season. So many of the energies of the planets are encouraging us to look inward, and make sure that we are examining what's happening internal to us. And what we are experiencing outside of us is going to be related internally in some way. And it's up to us to figure out what that is. There's a lot of Mars energy that's coming up here. And as you can see, there's 2 of these aspects that are happening right at that 8-8 portal. And it's with Mars. So this is that masculine taking action energy. You want to make sure that you are really examining the actions that you're taking and making sure that you're doing them with the right intentions. Mars can cause wars. Whether it's warfare within yourself, within your family, or farther outside. So we have to be very intentional with this Mars energy. We also have more Mars energy, but also right after we have this 8-8 portal, now we're having some of this other energy come in and impact the vibrational flow. One of the biggest things is on April 10th is when Mercury will finally go direct, where it went into retrograde in July. And March 10th is when it'll go direct into Leo. And so now that communication and technology energy is turning back more direct. So we can have an easier time of being able to communicate outwards. Hopefully you utilize that energy, that communication internally, especially with all these other retrogrades going on. We also have this conjunction between Venus and Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter is in Cancer right now, and will be there for about a year. And so it's amplifying this energy of Cancer. And so with Venus coming in, where Cancer rules the moon, or the moon rules Cancer, and Venus now is coming in and adding this feminine aspect to it. And so now we just have to be recognize that Jupiter is now amplifying on this day both the Cancer energy, the energy of the moon, and that Venus energy. And you can make that whatever you want to, but better to be aware of it so you can be intentional in your use of that energy than getting caught up into it. August will be some very interesting vibrations. It's going to bring us some interesting events. I think be very much aware of that reap what you sow energy coming back around. Recognize it in your own life and in the lives around you. And let me know in the comments below how you're expecting to see this August energy. If you have any questions about these August vibrations, how you can use it, how you can use it to help push you forward, and how just generally how I can help you with it. So please make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell so you can get my next set of videos. Bye.